Hey everyone, it's serotonin. I'm gonna try and do this video, and we'll see how far we get. Okay, so I wanted to do a video on Casa Loma, but I wanted to preface it a little bit with talk a little bit about the Spadina house, because that's actually, or the Spadina house, I think it's called, because that's actually how I got to um, this is how I got to Casa Loma, and I'm moving this over because one of the things I want to talk about in the Spadina house. So it's this museum, and I'll just show it to you here. So this is sort of the official City of Toronto website about it, and basically it's sort of supposed to be like a rare glimpse into the 1920s house. It's sort of like Toronto's answer to Downton Abbey kind of thing. And it's quite a beautiful house. And there's definitely a lot of very interesting Antiquitech stuff going on there, especially there's an entrance over here. It's being obscured by the tree here, but there's a gated entrance that's just all wrought iron, very interesting stuff. Part of the reason I wanted to bring this up, because this is actually what I was doing for the day with my family. We went to go and check out this place. Very, very interesting. There's lots of stuff that just does not fit, and it's also part of the whole Casa Loma grounds kind of area. It's like literally right next door to Casa Loma, which is the big castle. And over here you have, sorry, Casa Loma's right here, and up this street, which you don't actually ever really drive down. It's like a private street, and I think it's all one way and stuff, so you're kind of obstructed from going up here, but there's almost like an identical looking similar castle right here, Casa Loma Stables. And we're going to get into that because there's something weird going on there. Now, this is the occult shop, which has been around forever in this area. It actually used to be above St. Clair Avenue, but now it's beneath it. And I'm bringing this up because when I went to the Spadina house, you basically get like a tour with one tour guide, depending on when you go, kind of thing. And so we showed up, and it was like March break, and it was really cold, and it's really snowy and gross and stuff. And Spadina House, Spadina House, or whatever the heck you want to pronounce it, is not really the most sort of kid awesome place kind of thing. So people just don't really go there. Anyway, we were waiting around for our tour guide in the in the boutique, and they were giving away what they called, oh, what was it? Number boards. Giving them away for free. They were photocopies of Ouija boards. Freaking Ouija boards for free. Photocopies. Please just take one. Take it home with you. Okay, now, a little bit of a disclosure here. I was interested in esoteric stuff my whole life. I never knowingly or willingly used it for harm, as far as I can tell. My intention is probably not always being amazing, but when I was using tarot, I never did it for money. I always did it to find out what was going on in my life for me. I have looked into lots of different things. I've had friends that have been Wiccan. It's something that I have completely turned away from at this point. I actually left my business because of this. So I have very, very strong feelings about it now that are completely oppose my original views of this kind of stuff. Anyway, I will tell you this. I have never, and I never would, and I never, even when I was interested in this kind of stuff, I would have never touched a Ouija board with just no way. I wouldn't have touched it with a barge pole. For me, it was the absolute number one thing I would never, 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 never try. Because I know people that have, and they're really freaking scary, and it is an absolute open doorway to whatever in your home. And I've had tons of people ask me if I wanted to participate, or I've had people that this is their preferred method of divination, and would I like to join them? Absolutely not. No thank you, no how, never. I've always said no. Thankfully, my curious child did not notice this number board, because I don't know how that would have gone, and I'm never going back to this place again. And I think it's really crazy that they're not even selling it, they're giving it away for free. It's photocopies of a freaking Ouija board. Anyway, okay, calm down. I'm calming myself. Okay, we will proceed with Casa Loma. So most of you guys probably don't know this, because I've only mentioned this ever in one video, but we homeschool. And so as a follow-up to Casa Loma, I was at the library and I happened to notice they had a video. And it is here, and it is called Casa Loma, Toronto's Majestic Castle. And I was trying to find this, like a copy of this on YouTube, and I might still try and do that. And because now I've started using Premiere, so I might be able to like edit this in. But I was watching this video with my children, and many, many, many things came up. So let's move along, and I will get into that. So Casa Loma, the deal is that it was made by a man called Henry Pellet as a means to impress his wife. Now, it was constructed from 1911 to 1914. However, these dates already don't fit into a lot of the images that I have up for discussion for this video. And there's just a lot of weird kind of stuff going on here. I'm just going to do a quick go down here. This is the main picture I wanted to show you, and they showed this in the video. Now, I believe UAP refers to this as vanilla sky, his vanilla sky. And this is what happens when basically they just kind of blot off like the top of a building. And you can see they've put in a couple of guys here, and they have these very, fortunately for them, very straight lined looking, useless looking cranes as far as I can tell. Because it's super easy to draw them in. But do you see how they've basically built the castle level up, but they have all this intricate detail, like ridiculous intricate detail. Like you've got, you know, these windows may not have glass in them, but they have all of this, right? All of these pieces that you really wouldn't install, like all of this, all of these tiny little bits, right? Why would you install that when you're still constructing the house? Why would you bother with all these tiny little fiddly pieces? And of course, as we all build exactly level from ground up, inch by inch, foot by foot, nary a tower be built before another part. You know, we wouldn't just build this up and then build that up, because this is obviously a tower and that's going to be a tower, but we won't just build that. No, we have to remain completely and totally level and equal all the way up. Every brick must be met with another brick that goes horizontally. And we go like weaving a carpet, like a carpet in a loom, right? And here are the people who know the truth. And they're all dead now, as my grandmother would say, poor thing. She used to love Coronation Street, and back in the old days there was a cat that walked across the roofs at the beginning of Coronation Street, and she would always say, it's dead now, poor thing. So I think about that a lot when I look at these old pictures. They're dead now, poor thing. So here is a picture of Casa Loma from helicopter, rocket ship, dirigible, I don't know. But as you can see, this was going to be a tower. Like I said, that was going to be a tower. Why didn't they just build the damn tower? Sorry, the darn tower up. And why would they put the conservatory, like this is obviously built afterwards. So that picture, again, is just ridiculous, because they've made sure they have every last little bit over here. And I don't know if they've properly obscured everything over here. And, you know, so quite a trick of the darkroom, I have to say. Applause to you. Now, this is very interesting, and I really wish, darn it, I don't have the notes for this, but I believe it said that it was, when I was looking at this originally, that it was 1911, which doesn't add up, because 1911 was when the whole thing was built. Anyway, this is now the back of the castle. You would come down here, and you go down the hill, and that's going towards Davenport, and that one's going up towards St. Clair. And St. Clair, by the way, Sinclair, is the last name of the man who began the Scottish Rite, the Scottish Rite Masons, and also happens to be the last name, the maiden name of Justin Trudeau's mother, and of course his father is Fidel Castro, as we all know that. So. But yeah, Sinclair. Just a little bit of extra, you know, history, mystery for you. And this is all an amazing gardens now. And here, okay, so here is Casa Loma, looking very grand. Here's a nice, beautiful picture. This is from the stables. This would be from the tower of the stables. And I'm sorry these pictures are so teeny. They're kind of doing this on purpose. Okay, yeah. Okay, here's a nice one for you. So, what do you think this is? It's a stable, of course. Don't all horses have stables that look identical to this? Of course they do. Right? Yeah, this is the Casa Loma stables. And that's all they're going to tell you about it. They say nothing else. That's pretty much it. And they just keep their mouths shut. And this is, probably, look at these horses. My goodness. Their place is nicer than mine. Let's keep going. Fancy horse, living in a beautiful stable. And I don't want to get too far because we're going to start seeing features that I actually really wanted to talk about. But yeah, it's a joke. Right? Oh, and there's tunnels, of course. And the tunnels are supposed to be haunted and they're quite terrifying. And I've heard stories, like, because I grew up here, so there's tons of people apparently who have, this is one of the castles. This is one of the towers. I mean, I've been up that part. But some of my brother's friends and stuff who are far stupider / braver than I had done, they'd snuck in at night and they'd gone through these tunnels, of course. Yuck, right? Like, oh, jeez. Couldn't imagine. Anyway, let's continue on. Okay, so this is a beautiful shot of, this would be the stables up here, and the castle would be over here. And this is all, big homes now. And there's Casa Loma again. And that's in 1914, 1915, so right at the end of the building. There's the stables. Oh, it's the same picture I found. Now I'm just going to show you guys this article because my husband and I were discussing Blogtio the other day, and we're starting to think that they're on to stuff, and they're not hiding their questions that they write in these articles are fantastic. Let's just put it that way. So a notable thing, and I didn't actually get into the research of this, but maybe I will. But I've been full of empty promises lately with my videos, and so I apologize. I'm still trying to do the one on Titanic / Lusitania, the Q post 142, all that. That's one post. One video, and the other one that I really wanted to do was Norumbega, and my computer has crashed now twice with all my tabs, and I wasn't able to recover them, and I don't know why. Anyway, I'm gonna cry if I talk about it for too long, but this is a really incredible website, Blogtio. They seem to be dishing a lot of dirt. Oh, there's that picture I was showing before. It's looking much better now, much bigger. From the stables, it says 1920. And this is from the stables. This would be probably from the Spadina house, actually. So he lived in a house and he had these ridiculous stables. And of course he didn't build a thing. He was a Freemason. Don't you know? Oh, sorry. Going back up here. Boop-a-doop. See, I've already lost my train of thought. Casa Loma was bought by the Kiwanis Club of Toronto in the 1920s for something like $60,000. And I really want to try to get this video of Casa Loma that I showed over here from the library onto my computer. I don't have a CD-ROM, so I might have to use my husband's. We'll figure it out. Maybe it'll end up in the back of this video. Who knows if I can figure that out. But anyway, they sold it for next to nothing. And I think what happened was it was a way for the government to take over and basically start dealing with trying to cover up a lot of the unanswerable questions that come along with Casa Loma. And so, here we go, 1914. Now, tell me, how do you build a castle perfectly around all these old growth trees? That has always been, for me, that's like my smoking gun that I always look for, is the size of the trees. Here you don't really get a good eye for it because this is a different piece. There's actually a road that runs in between here. So you're not really seeing it. And, of course, this is the inside. of the castle. So now, this being the first picture, nope, where is it, that caught my eye, where they are all sitting in front. No, it's this one, isn't it? This was the first thing that caught my eye in the Casa Loma video. The second thing that caught my eye was a swimming pool that they showed in the video. And this, my friends, is the swimming pool. And I did a video a while back called Biltmore Pool and Happy Q Year When Two Worlds Collide. And this is about, this pool right here. Oh, for God's sake. Here we go. Now this, if you have been keeping up with the Q posts, with what is going on with child sex trafficking in the alternative media, how this is all being dealt with and being taken down, you will recognize this picture. This is the Biltmore Mansion pool, and there's a lot of very, very nefarious and very scary stuff that people are wondering about this, and what is going on with this pool, and why does it feature in some of the very, very disturbing artwork that Tony Podesta has in his house, or in his possession. And this pool has been featured in many a Q post, with lots of questions about the Vanderbilts, about the Biltmores, about what this is. And there's been a lot of very alarming talk about what this actually is. And when I saw this to me and this is the same thing. And especially too, if you have a look at this is a someone's Pinterest page that I pulled up. And similar stables. This is also the Biltmore estate. And this was the original picture that I saw before it was painted. Now, doesn't it just look exactly like this? It's the same. Now, part of the thing is, okay, sorry. The way it dips down, the shape of it, and the fact that there is no drain. Now, ask yourself, who wants to go swimming? Oh, it looks like there is a drain there. Do you want to go swimming? Do you want to go swimming yet? Really? Do you feel like swimming? Because I sure don't. On what planet is this a swimming pool? This is a dungeon. I don't know what this is. It is in a basement. There is nothing pleasurable about this. This is horrific. And to call it a swimming pool is unbelievable. Now, in the original video that I saw over here, this video, there is a toy at the bottom of this pool, like an old toy. The other thing is, if you know about if you've been following along and trying to help spread the word and liberate these poor suffering children, you'll know that roses feature very heavily in the symbolism behind this child sex trafficking people thing, garbage. And almost right after they show this pool, they have, like, within 30 seconds or less, they show the rose garden and other flowers. Like, it's pretty unbelievable. Anyway, part of the reason I wanted to, also just get into this for a minute. Now, you might say, okay, well, it was built in 1911. That's how people built pools back then. No, sorry, they didn't. These are Turkish baths. Some of these are hundreds of years old. Okay, you might say, okay, yeah, it's the Ottoman Empire. It's a totally different country, whatever. No, people. This has been going on for centuries. They know how to make things luxurious. Have you noticed that they have windows? They're above ground. It looks nice. Not so much. This is Bath in England. According to the narrative, this is over 2,000 years old. It's a lot nicer than that one. So it's not that they're not capable of making nice swimming pools or baths. They just didn't, because that's not what it's for. Now, one last thing before we go. This I found on blogspot.to. I don't know if you've ever seen these things, but people call them souls. These are globes. If you ever take a picture at night or with a flash, I've taken pictures. It was actually the Dia de la Muerte in Mexico. I went with my dad. The Noche de la Muerte, actually. And we were in a graveyard, and it was like thousands. I will see if I can find that picture for you guys one day, because it's a real treat. All the beautiful spirits had come to spend time with their families. Now, I do just want to check one more thing, and we're going to have a look at this right now. Casa, Loma, pipe organ. Because if there's a pipe organ, I'm starting to wonder about the theories. Okay, and there it is. There's the pipe organ in Casa Loma. All right, guys, that's all I've got for now. I'm going to keep digging. There's obviously something very interesting going on here, but, you know, Casa Loma, Biltmore Castle. Let's just have a quick look at Biltmore, sorry guys, Castle here. It's significantly different, but there are features that are very similar. Okay. Very interesting. What's going on there, hey? Holy. All right, guys. More questions than I had answered. I hope you appreciate this. Took a bit of time to put together, and I would love to hear anything you guys have to say, any experiences you had at Casa Loma Spadina Museum or Casa Loma Stables. Or just, you know, leave a comment. God bless. Stay warm. Spring is here, everyone.